Hello and welcome to your messages for the week. These are your tarot wisdom messages for the week of the 24th of August 2026. So we are now in the last week of August, which means that the messages for the month of August will still be relevant. So I will put a link in the description and the video in the end screen for you. Also, what happened this week was I had a lovely chat with the amazing and beautiful Lorraine Butterfield on my Truth and Tarot Time podcast. I will put a link in the description and the video in the end screen because I don't think you're going to want to miss that one because we talked about Akashic record readings, which we both do, but we also talked about menopause, which was interesting for me because I don't normally talk about that. Because I don't see it as a problem, or I didn't, I kind of see it as a spiritual journey. And Lorraine was completely agreeing. And she has a program where she helps people through the process of menopause as a spiritual journey. So you're definitely going to want to catch that, what she has to say about it, because from my perspective, menopause is a gateway to wisdom. And therefore to be celebrated and honored and appreciated and embraced and all those other lovely things connected to the divine feminine. So yeah, that was a lovely chat. So take a look at that if you haven't already seen it. So I'm going to use the Sufi deck today. There we go, Sufi deck. I did that last week or whatever. I called it the Sufi deck. Oh gosh. Sufi Tarot deck by Ayeda Hussein. I absolutely love it. Carries a lot of Sufi wisdom with it. So let's have a look. Can we have some messages for this week or whenever anyone's watching? It's messages, as always, at the right time, for the right person, for the right reason. And okay, that one wanted to come out when I said for the right reason. Anything else? Any other messages for the week? Thank you. Any guidance, any heads up, any wisdom, anything else that we can share? Thank you. And anything else? Let's just check. I think that's it. We've got 3, which as we know is the magic number. Let's just have a look at the one on the bottom. Love it. Shams. Now, I think I might have said this before. One of the reasons I love this deck is because of Sufi wisdom, which of course is Rumi wisdom, and Shams means sun. But Shams is also the name of Rumi's mentor and friend. And in the book, The 40 Rules of Love, I'll put a link in the description to that as well, because I found it just amazing. It was just beautiful. It's basically Rumi's life. With Shams and his learning experiences. But it's beautiful, the 40 rules of love. So the sun, because Shams to me now is like, because it's Rumi's mentor. Can you imagine how conscious that is? Can you imagine how much wisdom is coming through? So I think there is wisdom from the sun. And of course, we are in the middle of eclipse season. We had the eclipse on the 12th of August, but we have the lunar eclipse coming on Friday, the 28th. So I think there is definitely a connection still to the sun. And although we have now just moved into Virgo season this weekend, we have obviously just moved out of Leo season and the sun rules Leo. That's the connection there. So beautiful card, the most positive card in the deck, beautiful card to have on the bottom. Talking of Virgo season, I have done a video on the guidance from the Hermit card for this Virgo season. So this isn't just for Virgos, of course. When I do these zodiac sign readings, we're coming into Virgo season, which means the qualities of Virgo are going to be relevant for everybody. What advice and wisdom does the Hermit have? Because the Hermit is the Virgo card for us to help us navigate this zodiac period of time, this Virgo season. So I'll put a link in the description and the video in the end screen to that as well. Yes, that's a lot of links. Okay, let's dive in. Ten of Coins, loving it. The Ten of Coins, of course, is the Ten of Pentacles. This is a card of abundance, financial abundance. It can also come when there's a windfall. So whether you're winning the lottery this week, I don't know, maybe someone is paying back a debt. It's also the inheritance card. Maybe you're inheriting something. I've had this card come up before where people are inheriting not just money, because my perception of Pentacles is abundance in general. So this card has come up a couple of times when I've read for people who are realizing that they have inherited perhaps their grandmother's witchy ways or their family's psychic abilities. And often those abilities do jump a generation. So very often it was the grandmothers and the great grandmothers that had these witchy ways. So this is beautiful because what this card implies is that there is this abundance, whether it be financial or joy, happiness, love, whatever it may be. There is this abundance for the whole family. So you can see there the young and old all celebrating. And there is a little dog, I was going to say, because in the Rider-Waite deck, there are some dogs as well. I don't know whether you can see that. There's a little dog sitting on that cushion under that tree. But I like to think of the animals as being part of the family that are going to benefit from that abundance. What a beautiful, abundant, and powerful card to come up first. And another powerful one, we've got a major arcana. We've got the Judgment card. Okay, the Mizan. I don't know whether I pronounced these words correctly. But this is the Judgment card. You notice like it's in the Rider-Waite, it's Archangel Gabriel calling you to your life purpose. We often use that phrase, don't we? Oh, I felt a calling. I felt a calling to do. Are you living your calling? You know, it's basically your inner passion, your inner guidance, isn't it? You know, your passions are not random. They are your calling, you know. So that's Archangel Gabriel doing that, waking up the dead, you know, the people in the coffins. So here it's the same, because look, we've got these people around. This isn't so much Archangel Gabriel maybe, but there is definitely, I mean, Archangel Gabriel has the trumpet. He's the heralder, isn't he? He's the messenger. But here there is music being played. It looks like a flute of some kind. But the butterflies, of course, show the transformation that occurs when you follow your passion. This card comes up when there's spiritual awakenings and when your life purpose becomes clear. It's like you're being called. And sometimes that can feel uncomfortable. I remember when I first felt the calling to write my first book, but having never written a book before, I thought it was like too big a deal, you know, and there was fear in me. Like, what am I going to write? How am I going to do it? You know, how do I get it, you know, onto Amazon or wherever? You know, it was too big a deal. So I actually remember feeling some fear, but that was a calling. So sometimes you could have a calling to do something, and you might well have been putting it off. That's what I want to say. You might well have been putting it off. And this card has come up now to say, no, don't put it off. We've had the Sun card, remember? I need to get the Sun card out again because I want to shine its light on whatever this purpose is, this calling that you have. Now, this calling can be on any scale. It could be your whole life purpose, and your turning point, and it could be the pivot that you need in order to create the world of your dreams. But also it could be just a small calling to do something on a smaller level that's going to benefit you in some way and bring you light and balance and coherence and harmony and all those lovely things. It's also, of course, the Judgment card in the Rider-Waite. So Judgment, I always think it's the penultimate major arcana. I always think that's relevant because I think releasing our judgments is actually one of the most difficult spiritual lessons in life. And shifting from judgment to discernment, because of course we do need to have that ability to judge a situation and people for our own safety, for our own protection, for our own good. But we don't have to have a negative judgment about it. It can be discernment is like, to me, I see it as being judgment without the negative thought behind it. It's assessing the situation, but without a judgment. So you can still assess a situation as being for you or not for you, but it's not accompanied by any negative thinking, or even positive thinking. It's just a case of discernment is about observing and understanding what is for you and what isn't for you, if that makes sense. And I think that's quite a big jump or quite a big lesson to learn in life. So I think that's why it's the penultimate major arcana. So hopefully that resonates with somebody. And we've got the last card is the Seven of Coins. So there's a lot of money here going on. The Seven of Coins, he's probably waiting for this inheritance to come in, or for because he's waiting. The Seven of Coins is he's reflecting on everything that he's got, and he's got everything that he needs. So he's already got what he needs in life. This is a clear message with the Seven of Coins, the Seven of Pentacles. He's reflecting on his stockpile. So whether that be his finances, his assets, his materialistic stuff, or whether that be his knowledge, his information, the people that he knows, the skills that he's got. Okay, he has got everything that he needs already, and he's just pausing before his next step, before he uses them all, because very often people think they're not ready. We talked about this calling and how we can dismiss it because we think we're not ready. But also, I think he's also thinking about how he's going to spend this, because if he's already got everything he needs and everything he wants, okay, and that's all part of this spiritual lesson in life, isn't it? Needing nothing attracts everything. So if this windfall is coming in, especially if it's financial, he's going to need to think, how is he spending this? Because why is the universe giving him this money or this abundance? Why is the universe giving this abundance? It's to be used, but it's to be used for the right reasons. It's to be used for that calling. It's to be used to better yourself and better the world. It's kind of we're in Virgo season, and Virgo season is very much about being in service to humanity. So I think whatever windfall this is, whatever abundance has come in, it needs to be used, because this card is telling us that you don't need it yourself for your own security, for your own, whatever. So how is this going to be used? Now that's interesting. This card is saying make sure that you use it wisely and you use it to carry out that calling, because this calling might take money, especially if you're leaving a day job and following your passion job. There's often a drop in income, isn't there? So maybe that's why this windfall has come in to help you do that. I remember, just looking back, I can see divine timing when I wanted to do my holistic therapy course, and my beautiful Auntie Joyce passed away just beforehand and left me just enough money to look after myself and my son while taking a year out to do that course, because obviously the universe wanted me to do the full-time course. And of course, that's where I found Reiki, and that's where I understood the power of energy. And that was, of course, the massive turning point in my life. So it was all meant to be, but couldn't have been without that inheritance from Auntie Joyce. So for me, I can see how these things work. There's a calling coming in, and you are going to have the funds for it. But as I said, it may not be financial. This could be an abundance of help coming in, an abundance of support, an abundance of love. Maybe you're meeting somebody and falling in love, and this is a calling that you are a divine counterpart, or that there's something that you guys are going to do together. There's an awful lot going on. But what I like about this card coming up at the end is it shows that you've already got everything you need and everyone you need, and know everything you need to know. And there's a pause as everything falls into place. And you follow that calling, and you have everything you need in order to follow that calling. So, wow, it's a message for this week. It doesn't mean that all of that is happening in this week. We don't want to be restricted. I know, I think I'm going to say this every week now, but we don't want to be restricted by time. Time is only here for us to navigate the human experience. So we don't want to use time as any kind of limiting concept. But obviously, the message is relevant this week. But when you actually carry out this calling? I don't know. It's up to you, isn't it? So, wow. Beautiful cards, beautiful reading for this week. Thank you for getting to the end of the video. Love you, love you, love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.